Hello, just Chrissy here. I'm actually going to do a little bit of an educational training thing today around human design. Something of my own to share that I am sure some of you will resonate, and I hope that you can pick up a few tips from. Um, so in the last few weeks, I've been dragging my heels, to say the least, in my writing, in my business. Something has been blocking me, and I haven't been able to figure out what it was until this morning. And I really don't know what happened, but I just got one of those light bulb moments this morning, and I realized I was putting, so I'm a projector. And I know if you've listened to some of my other videos, you would know that Chrissy's a projector. Now, for those of you that know a little bit about human design, you'll know that we have 5 types. The projector is one of those types. We're all different. Even though other projectors may not be exactly the same as the next one, we all have certain traits, okay? So for Chrissy, I have a certain amount of energy. I get inspired by things outside of me. And when I get when I expire, let me rephrase that. When I become inspired by something, it's like the light goes on, the engine starts, and off I go. And I have loads of energy and I have to share it. And if I don't share it there and then, whatever it is, whether that's a piece of writing, whether it's a video, whatever it happens to be, it might be a thought I've had that I want to share with a friend. And if I don't pick up the phone straight away and get onto that, the minute's gone. The moment's gone. Has that happened to you? Well, don't beat yourself up about it if that has happened to you. Okay. It's okay, because we have a certain amount of energy. And when we use that energy up, it's easy to get exhausted, feel like we're done, feel like we're going into burnout. But we can manage it in a way that there's a smoother transition and it doesn't feel like a bouncing ball. Once upon a time, for me, it was like a bouncing ball. I'm up and I'm down and I'm up and I'm down. And it's exhausting. And it was exhausting for other people to watch me go through that. But now I understand myself so much more. I recognize when I'm starting to come down, and I recognize when I get that moment where I'm ready to run. So in the last few weeks, something has been holding me back. And this morning, as I say, I realized what it was. So about 3 weeks ago, I came to a place in my business where I've pulled everything together. I've got this wonderful ecosystem with my writing, with my human design, with everything that's going on. And now is the time to open the shop. Okay? My shop is stocked. There'll be new stuff coming, but now it's time to open the doors. So I sat down and I made a plan in my notebook, in my pretty pink notebook. I started doing a weekly schedule. Certain things that need to be done each day, specific things that need to be done. So posting in the different places I've got my social media and posting specifics. So, on a Monday, I've got various things. On a Tuesday, others. Wednesday, and so on through the week. But then, without fully appreciating what was going on in here, I realized that I was going into a little bit of overwhelm. And because I didn't understand why, I wasn't accepting that I was going to overwhelm. And I was trying to rationalize. I think that's the best way of explaining it. I was trying to rationalize everything. And it's like, I don't understand it. I have a plan. I've got it written down. I've got my plan written down beautifully. And I'd even made like a little calendar type of thing. Look, see? There you go. And crossing off with a highlighter pen of each thing. But it was becoming a chore. It was not fun. It was feeling forced. And I didn't like that. And when I start to feel like that, everything starts to feel heavy. And then I feel like I want to dig my heels in and not do it, a bit like a child when they don't want to do something. They dig their heels in, they might have a tantrum, meltdown, whatever it is. But it's like, no, not doing that. So obviously I didn't do that. But I did start to realize something. It was almost like, no, don't want to do that. But I didn't know why. So this morning when I got up, I realized my mind was going. I'd had some interesting dreams over the last few nights. I had some ideas that were going on, and I could feel this momentum within me building. And I had stuff to share, and it was like, oh, I want to do that, and I want to do that. So I realized that I can't work to a schedule. I don't have to work to a schedule anymore either. Because I'm retired, because what I do, I work from home on my computer, sharing what I want to share, which is really cool. So therefore, I don't have to work to any specific schedule. I don't have to please anybody else. I don't have to feel obliged to do any specific thing on any one day. The most important thing is that I am showing up, though. But over the last few weeks, I haven't really been showing up enough. And then I was feeling guilty because I hadn't been on here to do my trainings or my educational side of human design. I hadn't been on here to do my coffee with Chrissy. I hadn't been doing what I wanted to do on my school community or in my Facebook group. And it felt like it was overwhelming. It felt like it was all building up. And I felt like, did I feel like a failure? I kind of felt a little bit like a failure, like I was letting myself down and I was letting my audience down for those that do watch me. So I realized that the only thing I was actually doing on a consistent basis was my Monday blog, which is so ingrained now that I just do that automatically. But it wasn't good enough that I wasn't doing the other stuff. So I made a decision this morning that, yes, I schedule ahead seven days of coffee posts. That's done and dusted over the weekend, easy. But for the rest of it, I decided I don't have to have a themed Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday through till Sunday. I don't have to limit myself to thinking, okay, I'll do a human design post on a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'll do a book post and share a story on a Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. It doesn't have to be that structured. It doesn't matter because I am a free spirit. Because I share from the heart and because I share when I'm inspired to share, I might end up doing a post every day about human design. I might do one post a week about human design. I might share my own personal story 3 times a week, or I might decide one week I've got nothing to say, I'll share it once. And it's actually okay. Because as I say, that is who I am. And I'm not out here to try and impress other people. I'm here purely to share experiences, to share my writing, to share my human design work. Now, that obviously is structured. If I'm doing a human design reading or a report for somebody, of course that's structured. That's slightly different. But when I'm posting about it, when I'm sharing my own experiences, I can only do it when I have an experience to share. I can't plan those ahead and say, oh, I'm going to have a human design experience on Wednesday, so I'll share it. Because when Wednesday comes along, I might be busy with other things and nothing might come up into my space that can relate to human design and how it's impacted me. So this morning, this scenario I can share because yes, it does. It relates to my type, being a projector, and how I roll, and being able to discover from that what works and what doesn't work. So that's what I want to share today. I will try and share some of my own examples of the projector profile as and when they come up. I will share other human design educational stuff in my school community. And I will try and do that on a weekly basis because, again, that's a little bit more formalized and that's something I have to think on and plan ahead. But it's not something I have to do 3 days a week. That's a once a week thing into the school community. So if you want to dip into that, then join me in the school community. Okay. But yeah, so if you are struggling, say, with something in your working day within your life, and you're trying to think, well, am I being lazy? Am I procrastinating? Why is this happening? Why am I struggling with this? And yet I find something else really easy and that flows for me. There's most likely a reason behind it that does relate to you, how you were designed to live your life. And when we find that we are out of alignment with who we truly are, certain things become really difficult and it might make us angry. It might upset us. It might make us feel bitter about certain things. Have you ever wondered, for instance, something happened during your day and you got really angry and it just seemed to just brew? Try looking back and thinking, how often has a similar scenario triggered you being angry? And when you start to look at that, you can pretty much guarantee that you're out of alignment with your true self. And that's why you've become angry. When you're fully in alignment with your true self, you will have less of those blowouts, less of those angry moments, less of those frustrated moments, less of those times where you feel really bitter about something. And if it continues, you can almost, like a bitterness thing, my not self theme is bitterness, which is ironic, really, but that's a story for another time. But yes, I understand it now. And once upon a time, someone once said to me when I was a child, oh, you hold a grudge. Yeah, maybe I did. And that's all related to that feeling of bitterness. So whether I felt let down, whether I felt not seen, not heard, I reacted to that and I would feel bitter about it. Now I recognize it. So there's not much now that will tip me into that feeling of bitterness. If I do, I recognize it really quickly and I can snap out of it and think, okay, I know why that happened. I don't need to feel like that. I've reacted to something completely unnecessary because that person didn't say or do whatever they said or did purposely to upset me. I have perceived it in a certain way because of my projector design. We take things on emotionally, whereas you might be a manifester or a generator. You might not take personally what a projector will take personally. And so therefore you will react differently. And when you think about your workplace or your family scenario, Some people will react. Let's just say there's a staff meeting, okay? I think this is the best analogy I can give. If you are at work and there's a staff meeting and something has been delivered to the team within that staff meeting, and if you look around the room, you will see different reactions. Some people will be fine, cruisy, yep, it's okay. There might be some people that will react and be really upset by whatever has just happened. You might see the faces of somebody else or even hear their annoyance about whatever has just been delivered. So why is it that one piece of information can be delivered to a room full of people and you see such a diverse amount of reactions going on? It's because we are all designed differently. It's not, it's like that saying, don't shoot the messenger. So whoever that is who might have just delivered that message, they haven't said it to make you cry or to make you angry or to make you laugh or whatever it is. They're there to do their job and deliver a message. How you receive it relates to, one, whether you are in alignment with who you actually are, or if you're out of alignment and you dip into your not self theme and you react in a way that perhaps might feel out of character. I hope that makes sense. For more information, to discover more, if this piques your interest at all, reach out to me. I would love to do a human design reading for you so that you can get your own unique soul blueprint, which will help you to understand what your type is, what your profile is, what your not self theme is, what are your strengths and weaknesses, how you make decisions, how you see the world and how the world sees you. When you start digging into it, it's absolutely fascinating, and your life can change in so many remarkable ways when you are able to live more in alignment on a daily basis and embody your own design. Think on it for a while. I'm here. Connect with me. But that's it. Have a good day. Bye for now. Oh, and please, if this does resonate with you, subscribe to my channel, invite others along. I really would like to grow this audience because I am a great believer that human design is quite a remarkable, it is a remarkable thing. And the more people that understand themselves, the world's got to be a little bit better. Take care. Bye for now.